G'day. Here I am, back. Oh, there we go, just a minute. Oh, God. Back where we belong, here in Tony Abbott's kitchen. Just the other day, Tony got sworn in by our Governor General, ironically, a woman. And I reckon on that day, Quentin wasn't the only woman in Australia swearing about the fact that Tone is our Prime Minister. And then, when he allocated his ministerial portfolios, funnily enough, he actually allocated himself women's issues. Oh yeah, tops. Because we all know how much Tony is a really great advocate and he understands women. He's also made himself Minister for Indigenous issues because he said some very open-minded things about that. So it turns out that Tony isn't just, you know, able to represent women. He's also now an Abbott Regional, where he can represent the Indigenous communities as well. Fantastic. I mean, you know, clearly you can see what's happened in the new kind of portfolio that we have. I mean, he has said some things about women and their access to abortion, that women are just having abortions basically because it's convenient, you know. And I mean, what sluts. I mean, imagine just having an abortion because it's convenient. I mean, you know, it may be inconvenient. I'm up to my 400th child, but we're pushing through here in Abbott's kitchen. Now, you've got to realise that because we do have vaginas, we're not as clever as people that don't have vaginas, and it's very hard for us to understand complicated political metaphors. So when Tony said something, and I'll read you this quote, it says, "I think it will be folly to expect that women will ever dominate or even approach equal representation in a large number of areas simply because their aptitudes, abilities and interests are different for physiological reasons." I mean, how could we even understand that statement? Clearly, I'm not interested in the same things blokes are interested in because I've got a vagina. And that completely means I'm only interested in things in the kitchen, in my sphere of interest, in catalogues. You know, I like doing the washing. And when it comes to understanding power, the only power I understand is the eye, you know, on, off. You know, it's not my fault, I've got a vagina. And it's funny because when Tony did talk about, you know, the sort of underrepresentation of women, and funnily enough, his only sort of female minister at the moment is Julie Bishop as his foreign minister, and pretty soon she'll be flying overseas, so there won't be any women sitting on their nasty, stupid vaginas on his front bench. Now, Tony did say quite an amazing thing. I think it was quite incredible, you know, for women. I'd just like to share this. He said, "What housewives of Australia need to understand as they do the ironing is that they get it done commercially. It's going to up the price of their own power bills. And if they switch the iron on, it's going to go up every year." I don't really understand that, but I appreciate that he's tried to use the iron as a metaphor for power. Because with the vagina, unless you actually relate the concept of power and equal representation to the concept, you know, of an appliance like an iron, I'm not going to have a clue. You know, and clearly I realise, you know, the best for us girls with vaginas, you know, with our inability to really, you know, conceive of the complexities that people with penises can conceive of, we have to leave the switch off. We have to do the ironing now with the iron off, because that's the only way we can sustain not using up all the power. Anyway, I'm right with you, Tony. Really enjoying the first week of oppression. Keep it up. Oh, God. It's so good to know my place. It's just so good to be back where I belong. You know, for too long now, I actually thought I had equal rights to men. I thought, you know, my ideas were valid. I thought that, you know, possibly there should be people out there representing me and my interests. I mean, God. See what vaginas are tricky. Thank God there's a lot of people with penises sitting out there in Parliament using their cocks to think with.